Hey guys, my name is Heather and I'm a junior here at UWL, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. My younger brother and I were raised in the suburbs of St. Paul, and I feel like we fit the bill for a stereotypical American family. I have a mom and dad, they have 2 kids, 1 boy, 1 girl, and 2 dogs. Now that you know a little bit about me, let's dive on in. My family has always been supportive and fun-loving, but from a young age I strove to impress them. From as early on as I can remember, I've killed myself in school, trying to achieve the highest grades I could. I spent a large majority of my time in high school studying excessively, sacrificing relationships and fun to receive the highest grades I desired. In my mind, I was convinced that if I just got an A or did well in the next test, I could gain my parents' approval and maybe they would love me a little bit more. Throughout high school, I was involved in both cross-country and basketball. While I tried hard in the classroom for my parents, athletics were my means of trying to impress guys, coaches, and friends. I thought that if I could just get on the varsity basketball team or run a certain time in a race, my friends might like me more. Maybe if I scored a certain number of points in the game, my coach would notice me and give me more playing time. I thought I needed to excel in sports to keep up my good girl image. Turns out, just because you love sports doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be destined to be an all-star. I didn't make either of the varsity teams at any point throughout my high school career, which really tore me down. I thought that I could define myself by sports and that they would be the one way I could make friends and satisfy the desire I had in my heart for love and personal relationships. Growing up, I was always really involved in the church. I knew who God was and learned about Him in my faith growing up, but never really applied it to my life or had a personal relationship with Him. I helped teach Sunday school, got confirmed, volunteered for various programs, and even led a confirmation group my senior year of high school. I found great pride in being super active in the church and being a face the pastors and parents of church recognized. It was one more piece to add to the good girl image I was striving so hard to maintain. I ended high school with that image and indeed may have seemed like the perfect daughter to my parents, but on the inside, I knew I wasn't satisfied with myself. I had a small group of friends, no boyfriend, and a distant family. I went into college searching for a place to fit in, a place where I could meet new people, and a place where I could discover who I truly was. Looking back on all of these scenarios, I think it's obvious that I was searching for love in all the wrong places, and I was willing to get it from anything or anyone who would give it to me. While I knew who Jesus was growing up, I never actually believed He could care about me or that I could have a personal, loving, and satisfying relationship with Him. My first semester at UWL, I started attending a campus ministry called Cru. There I heard all about the personal relationship I could have with God and thought to myself, after all I've done, would God really accept me? Would He really love me unconditionally, even though I suck sometimes, like I said He would? At Cru's fall retreat my freshman year, I finally decided to commit my life to Christ, taking an active step in my relationship with Him. I was no longer content with knowing of Him. I wanted to personally know this God I'd always heard about. I decided that deep down in my heart, I really honestly believed that Jesus Christ wanted to know me and wanted to be in a relationship with me. I accepted the truth that He died on the cross for me, for all of us, to take away our sins and give us new life in Him. He suffered a painful and excruciating death on the cross for me, for you. He took our sin upon His shoulders so that someday, when we stand before God, He doesn't see the dirty, filthy, sin-filled lives we've lived, but instead the perfect life that Jesus lived. Our slates have been wiped clean through this gift. After accepting these truths, I would like to say that my life drastically changed, and I no longer struggle with impressing people, but that's not true. I still struggle with my relationship with my parents, and trying to earn their love by being the perfect daughter, even though I know I don't have to. I still try to impress guys and friends by being good at sports and school and doing what seems cool, not what I know and believe is right. I go to church and am involved in leadership with Cru, and I often find myself acting prideful when I tell my parents about what I'm doing here at school, since I know it's a lot different than what most kids my age are doing. Even though I have a personal relationship with God, I still seek approval and love from others and struggle with it every day. What has changed, though, is that I know in my relationship with God, I don't have to impress anybody, because He loves me no matter what. By simply striving to trust in Him and love Him with my whole heart, in turn, I receive unconditional love and never-ending happiness. This is a hard concept to grasp, but I've accepted it in my heart, and it's awesome and a relief to know that I don't have to do anything to win God's love or approval. Galatians 1:10 says, "Am I now trying to win the approval of men or of God? Or am I trying to please men? If I were still trying to please men, I would not be a servant of Christ." I am Heather Bartz, and this is my story.